There, I think we're live. Okay, we're live. We're live now. So, as part of what is, I think, going to go down as the best cold open, there was a bet that was placed that required some assistance, and our producer Spencer said, "How is this legal?" And my comment was that this is all about risk mitigation from books, which is the same way that it is in a casino. But the threshold on sports books for risk mitigation is infinitely lower than it is at a casino, just for a multitude of reasons. And limiting people is silly, and using locals and stuff is great. Legal gambling is still good. I don't know, CJ, did you have another ad for this as we kind of kick this off?
I thought you were honestly coming on and like announcing this like it was like Pete Hegseth announcing that we just captured Maduro. Like it's that's what it kind of reminded me of. So we've got some intelligence here on an operation that we just successfully executed. I mean, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where like it's a cat and mouse game. It's been a cat and mouse game for literally since the invention of gambling and betting. Yeah. Like there's like shit you can read up in like ancient Rome when people were trying to like skim the bookies. Like go watch the movie Casino. It's literally this is exactly how things operate and work and still operate today. So I think if you want to get into it, though, we can talk about like the baseball part of this and what we were able to try and start to get some.
I think I want to let people wait because this is all built around arguably as we've started doing our baseball stuff. And folks, if you are just listening, this is Dad's Bet Baseball, Adam Rosenberg, CJ Buskey, Slip and Jimmy. We are starting to do baseball futures, and we have, I would say, our favorite one so far. That we have that was difficult for CJ to place based on limits on a book, but producer Spencer came to the rescue. Full disclosure, always friend of the program, third chair.
Can I at least just give a hint of what the book was? I won't say the bet, but I can at least say the color of the book.
The color.
Yeah, it was the blue book. Okay, the blue book that I can literally not. I can get like $30 sometimes down on like a total base prop on this book anymore, let alone a insane future that they are also, by the way, the only one that's actually posting this. So that's the only clues I'm going to give. But this name is not listed anywhere else except for this book. And I think that is a mistake.
And we felt the need to pull the trigger on it. And by the way, and we have news for like, I guess if any bookie is listening to this and PPHs and stuff like that, you got like as pissed off as it seems that a lot of operators have been at how we and other people have done on baseball betting. Dude, once we integrate handicrafts baseball stuff into betting on locals and bookies, like thoughts and prayers in advance, man, because we're just going to crush it. Anyway, hope you're not listening, Paul. I love you. Thank you for letting me use your book. That said,
great guy.
Really good guy. Let's kind of get into this. Do we want to kick off with this? Let's talk about a couple. We got some baseball happenings. We did also see, we had
a lot
of baseball.
A lot happened. Did I completely miss, by the way, that Nolan Arenado is a Diamondback?
It was funny because it came 2 days ago. I updated our sheet with it. But like it was.
I'm like, did this happen in like December? And I was just totally in this holiday like phase, like what is it, like fog, and I had no idea that he even got traded. And then I was prepping today, started getting back into our friends over at Rates and Barrels, and they made this like little comment about how Gino going back to the Diamondbacks is probably out because they had just gotten Arenado. I'm like, when the hell did this happen? I was completely unaware that Arenado even got traded.
Yeah, it was it was right after I updated the team planning thing, and you and I made this bet that we'll talk about in a little bit. And I had because I had I had to go back in and update the adds and subtracted for the Cardinals and this. I mean, the biggest takeaway from this is that hey, Slimmer, happily, well, this is a Slimmer kind of talking about this Kyle Tucker to Toronto. We're going to talk about possibly in a second. But to me, the biggest thing that came out of this was I looked up if it was JJ Weatherholt. Obviously now kind of gets to claim third base. I don't know if this is going to go the same way as Matt Shaw's did, but let's actually talk about something that does impact Matt Shaw. Alex Bregman going to the Cubs, direct impact on Matt Shaw. I thought that the best take, first of all, I love this signing. We love the Cabrera signing. Or love the Cabrera trade. We really like this. Good fit. Future friend of the program, Suarez pointed out that the Wrigley's not great for righty pull hitters, but I don't think anybody cares. I think it's a very good signing. He was a little bit more tepid. Like it was good, but he felt tepid at times when he talked about it. But he did, the big thing that he did mention is that this effectively pulls the plug on Matt Shaw and makes him a super utility player for the rest of the season. To me, I say good.
If Matt Shaw stays on the team for the rest of the season,
he won't get it. Debate. He effectively does not. Look, there's a lot of reasons I think Matt Shaw kind of sucks, and this isn't a political program, but they're related to that and his heart in different places. But he's effectively now he will become he cannot really become an everyday player until 27 because he doesn't have a position because he just doesn't have a position. So, but let's talk about it. Bregman to the Cubbies. What do you think?
I love the signing too. It's also they haven't had a solution at third base since obviously they traded Paredes as part of the Kyle Tucker trade, which in retrospect for Houston, like great trade for them for getting Paredes, who like unfortunately got hurt, but was actually playing very well for them. And I like Cam Smith. So
yeah, we both like Cam Smith.
We'll see how he does coming into year two. I think, so it's funny because like on that episode we were talking, was talking about like all of the third basemen, and they kicked off that talking about how some of Jose Ramirez's metrics have kind of dropped, and a lot of like the top tier, I feel like third baseman besides maybe, I don't know if I put Caminero in that camp yet, but he certainly has a trajectory to get there. But he talked a lot about how, you can, if you are playing in one of either I believe it was like one of the corner field positions, or if you're playing third or first, you tend to age a little bit slower. And this is, I think, half the reason that they moved Bryce Harper to first base was to kind of like combat some of the.
Well, it also allowed them to move. It really helped allow them to move Schwarber out of the outfield.
True. That's true too.
But also, yes, you have a guy on a contract, a 13-year contract. Like, let's not have him have to dive after balls.
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing with Bregman though, that it's kind of, I compare it like in basketball when they always talk about like, oh, Kevin Durant's going to age really gracefully because he's just a really good shooter. Like he doesn't have to rely on a lot of just natural athleticism. And if you go and like look at Bregman last year, even getting hurt for basically half the year, go look at like his chase rate, his whiff rate, his K rate, still is one of the better hitters in baseball at drawing walks. We all know that he's an excellent defensive third baseman. So I think some of the power that you saw at the beginning of the year, like we were getting great numbers on him to hit a double, like in the first couple months.
We had him for doubles leader.
We had him. He was on track to easily get there.
Very on track. Yeah,
and then he got hurt. So like, I don't expect that he's going to contribute in the same way power wise. His hard hit rate was actually pretty good last year, 44%, which was a career high. So I thought that was a little bit interesting, but I think it to me is a better signing for the Cubs. And if you're looking at ways or angles to kind of bet this team, this is a good move for their pitching staff. Like this made me like Cabrera a lot more. It makes me like Shota more. I know what I'm getting at third base, and it's a defensive hole that they had to try and address.
Apologies. As I was looking at this, I was trying to bring some stuff up on Fangraphs, and Fangraphs is having data loading issues. So maybe you'll be able to get this up in front of me before I can. But yeah, I mean, look, this Cubs team we knew was going to buy. I thought that they compared. I thought that the way that they talked about it, just overall defensively, like there was concerns, I guess, about his bat speed being changed. But I think with Bregman, you just know what you're also getting, and they have so many different areas of that team that you don't know what the ceiling. Like you dealt with it last year with Bush and Shaw. Like which of these guys is going to take their lead? Like Bush was like, I'm taking the leap and I'm claiming first base, by the way, while I do this. And he did it. And like Michael Bush is everyday player and an absolute solid dude on that team. Pete Crow Armstrong, same way. And I solidifying this with Bregman. He's also just a great clubhouse guy.
I was just about to say, I'm like, he's
a winner.
Good veteran leadership. Big difference. He was
on that Houston team. He came up through that Houston team. So it's sort of,
the bat speed thing too. Like, I mean, we've only been tracking this since the 23 season, but if you go back to 3 years ago in 2023, he had a worse bat speed in 2023 than he did in 2025. Like he's been on that lower percentile of bat speed. And that's fine. I mean, look, Luis Suarez is one of the lowest or worst bat speeds in the league, still a valuable player. I think that stuff is maybe a little bit overblown. I would just be more concerned about, like, I guess his health, because he hasn't been a guy that has been, I'm looking here at his seasons. So the most games that he played 161 games in 23, he played 155 in 2022. Then it was 145, 114. Okay. So you've got, 2 years there where I guess 145 is still pretty good, to be honest. So
that's a DL. It's an IL stint.
Yeah. It's like, but I'm saying it's like
one of the season. It's an eighth of the season, man. Like it's not
145. Yeah. It's not, I guess I'm just saying, like, it's not like he's played half a season, and now we're expecting him to come in and play a full season. Like, I think if he plays 130, 140 games, his impact is still pretty great on that team. So, man, I liked it.
Six most pulled extra base hits. This is courtesy of MLB.com. Six most pulled extra base hits since 2016, since his debut. He has the sixth most.
Wow.
386, including 187 home runs. Like he's a fantastic pull hitter.
Is he the only major signing for any NL Central team besides the Pirates actually signing anybody?
Let me look at our chart. I mean, I love our Pirates right now. So
I heard you Gino floated to the Pirates as an option. I was like, oh my God, I would love that if he was there for just a year.
I can't believe we're on the right side of that win total bet right now. Signing wise, I mean, JJ Bleday. I'm looking at the other ones here. Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh did trade. Well, you're talking about. Do you think is Ryan O'Hearn a big signing?
For the Pirates, yes, but not as like a impact free agent signing.
Cardinals, all they did was signed starter. Actually, don't hate some of their starter. They traded on these ones. Actually, I didn't realize.
I think this is far and away the biggest move in the Central. To this point is what I was.
And then another. Well, is this? Let's talk. We keep teasing it. We might as well just go to this. But like, there is the shoe to drop is in the Central is going to be whatever happens with the Brewers and Peralta.
Yes.
And
do we want to talk? Can we at least talk about that future that we played?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying is that so. Peralta sounds all but done with this team, and you look backing up, and not to be cute about it all. But you and I like to go through. We'll use Fangraphs soon. We'll only use Handigraphs, but we like to use Fangraphs to figure out who has different K rates since a certain period of time, stuff like that, and that's how you and I determine who we want for RBI leaders, stuff like that. We will probably, by the way, I will most definitely be running back Suzuki this year. If we get a solid number on it based on Bregman being in that lineup and where I think they're going to have
he'd still be batting probably cleanup or fourth in that lineup too.
Yeah.
I would imagine
he definitely would. Yeah. I can't, Bregman's not going to
be ahead of him.
Bregman will be ahead of him. That being said, the guy that kept, so we backing up, we tried to walk ourselves into Spencer Strider. And less this is foreshadowing a bet that we have not made yet, but we are both very interested in Spencer Strider, possibly for K leader. Still need to kind of bring myself there on the data side, but that to us is a big bounce back thing. There weren't a lot of guys that we were really kind of loving. I think we both agreed that the chalk in Cy Young and backing up even more, big learning we had from last year is that we don't need a ton of award darts, because we've kind of figured out that a lot of these awards are sort of like there's 5 to 10 guys that can actually win it. And certain people, like, it's their turn. Like, for example, Zach Wheeler is 17-1 to be Cy Young. He's 100-1 to lead the league in strikeouts. What is that telling you? That's telling you that as soon as Zach Wheeler comes back, if he pitches 25 games, it doesn't matter. And he does it well, he'll be a third finalist for Cy Young. Like, he has that kind of market and type of respect. But look, the chalk is like Skeens and Yamamoto, and it's for obvious reasons. But the guy that we kind of landed on is this guy on the Brewers. It's Brandon Woodruff. And so this is the official saying, like, Brandon Woodruff at 30-1 for NL Cy Young fits a lot of our profile, a lot of our boxes. I will let CJ, you were kind of gushing over a lot of stuff because there's stats on him that you love. I'll let you kind of do it.
Yeah,
this is our horse. This is I think this guy's our baby this year.
So I'm trying to see if I can pull up in our text thread, because I had talked to you a little bit about some of those stats. I have Fangraphs, by the way, working for me on my end, so I can I do.
Pull it up then.
So I can get his stats up here too, but okay, yeah. This is when I was bitching about the different books and getting limited. Okay, so if you go to, first off, one of the easy things you can do when you're starting to look at some of these futures markets, just like we have with handigraphs with the blue and the red, is if you have a pitcher, when you're kind of just going through the prices, just go to their Baseball Savant page. Like, you don't even need to like scroll down all that far, because you just can see the percentile rankings at the very top of the page. And if you go to Brandon Woodruff's page for 2025, he is in the 99th percentile for, I don't know, maybe two of the most important predictive metrics that Baseball Savant has to offer, which is expected ERA, 99th percentile, and expected batting average, also the 99th percentile with a 171 batting average. But then the other thing that I had texted you about was, and you'll hear us talk, I talk a lot about this. This is sort of like my metric. I know yours is like you big on BABIP. Mine is for pitchers, I really like K minus BB, because K minus walk rate is telling me, are you dominant and can you be in control? So you can have, for example, like a 30% K rate, maybe like his teammate Jacob Mizorowski, but yet, and even honestly, Peralta is sort of like this too, where you can have like, 25+% K rate, but your K minus BB is like 14 or 15. And that tells me that, the wheels can come off pretty quick if you don't have kind of good command. So Brandon Woodruff's K minus BB last year now again, 12 starts. So this isn't a ton of data, but
still
in
60 plus innings, still 60 plus innings.
In 12 starts, he had a K minus BB of 26.8%. Okay. So if you go and you look at, well, the pitchers who won Cy Young last year. So first one we would go in the AL would be Skubal, K minus BB, 27.8%. If you go over to Paul Skeens from last year, okay, his K minus BB, not even actually that good, 23.7%. Previous year was 26.8%. And then if you go to Garrett Crochet, who is, also had an awesome season and will certainly be a candidate again. They're dying.
I think they're dying. They're dying. I think that's the one in the AL. They're just dying.
A minus BB. Previous year in Chicago, 29.6%, which is insane. And then 25.7% last year. So you're looking at, this is my point. Like, is if you're a 25% or above, that is like elite stuff that you are throwing, and you can be able to not only make a lot of guys with, but you also are not issuing a lot of walks. And that tends to win you a lot of games, even if your team stinks, which I think the Brewers may not be that good this year.
We also, we also don't like the Brewers to make the playoffs at like 2-1.
Yep.
And like this could lead to support the case if he has 19% of their wins because he's like the stopper on things that we don't like that don't work out for them. It also like you don't need to be the best team in the league on the best team in the league to be Cy Young.
Yeah. See, and glad you brought this up because this was the other thing that I had texted you about, which was if you take the records in the last 15 years of pitchers that have won the Cy Young, excluding 2020, the average number of wins that team has had is 86 wins. So there were, I think it's 3 or 4. I have to go double check, but there's at least 3 or 4 occurrences where the team didn't even win 80 games. Skeens, I mean, most recent example last year, but 86 wins is really sort of like the median or the average that the team ends up winning. Now, look, the Brewers could definitely get to 86 wins. They also could very easily be in that like 79, 80 win bucket, like just below 500, like kind of in the mix, but not really threatening most of the season, especially if they trade away Peralta. So Cy Young ultimately comes down. There is a narrative element, and that's a good point on the Wheeler stuff, which is, look, they want to give it to guys who haven't won before. If there's a good narrative, that does help your case in Cy more than other awards. However, last year was the prime example that your narrative can be really great if you were up against a guy that just has sick advanced stats, like it was with Crochet against Skubal, like it was with Aaron Judge against Cal Raleigh in the MVP race, similar. They're going to go with the guy who just has better advanced stats. And so I think Woodruff would squarely fit in that category, being able to, put a bunch of red on the StatCast screen. A lot of baseball nerds will know how good he is. And he, like you said, he could have a large percentage of the win share, especially if the team is not good.
Yeah. I mean, look, he missed obviously 24, but in 23, like his biggest issue is Max is the same issue with a lot of these guys that is like in hard, out hard. But he's still the expected ERA stuff for him and the expected batting average stuff. He's got a 96 percentile off speed run value on his changeup. So like that's up there with our guy Chrissy, who now is not priceable like that, who now we would not get. And he also
9-1 compared to the 100-1 that we got
100-1. That was a fun journey.
We
were just so blatantly right about that from the get-go. And it was just, and like, I have so many clips of me going on like VSiN and other places being like, yeah, hey, the guy who I like is not on your board. The guy who I like is not on your board right now because he wasn't on anyone's board to later. But the point is, yeah, I think Woodruff is really good. I'm looking right now at the market. He's actually priced behind Peralta right now. Peralta is 25-1. And Woodruff's 30-1. That's kind of the there's a couple other folks that we're eyeing. Both you and I like Luzardo a little bit, but I don't know if we're going to get to the window on it. But Woodruff kind of fits that entire makeup of guy on a team, comes off an injury, elite stuff. The elite expected ERA stuff is pretty important to us. Solid number. We've obviously Corbin Burns won Cy Young on this team before, and then he was second on the team another time. So, they doesn't matter your market. Skeens obviously won it, stuff like that. So that's a big one that we're really excited about as we're getting more into baseball stuff right now. So our main horse in the Cy race is going to be Brandon Woodruff.
Can we talk one other pitcher on free agency, and then we can talk a little bit of some foosball for the upcoming weekend. So
wait, are we going to talk about any rookie? We don't want to talk to rookies. Okay, whatever you want. Never mind.
Well, let's see what time, because we got a hard stop.
We got
our schedule and doing this here in the afternoon. But first question, bittersweet for you to see Ranger Suarez not a Philly anymore. Are you happy? Are you sad? What's fan reaction? Just plain and simple. What is it to Suarez leaving?
I mean, it stinks. You know me, man. I kind of thought that we should sell high on Ranger. Good for him. That's my thing. Good for him. He wasn't going to get that money from the Phillies. And
I think it was pretty clear by end of season he was not coming back.
Right. And good. He did everything. He was a fantastic teammate, fantastic player, owned the Braves. And really glad the Phillies didn't trade him for Tyler O'Neill.
We wanted that to happen so bad to go to the Orioles.
All these Orioles fans who think that by the way, think that I'm crazy. Go back to the tape and watch how I called that Pete Alonso was going to your team. All right. I clearly care about your franchise. But look, the point is with Ranger. No, good for him. Get that bag. Okay. Great signing for the Red Sox. And so, yeah.
That was going to be the next thing I brought up, because when Bregman left, I mean, clearly a loss for them. Like, he still was when he was healthy, he was a great player. You and I both have been pretty high on this team, though. Aside from, if we like putting Bregman aside, all offseason we've been kind of talking about how there's, I think, a lot to like about what the Red Sox are doing. A lot of their young guys coming into year 2. You've got they just also brought in Sonny Gray, which was a kind of sneaky
another future friend of the pod who we love.
Yep.
We love Sonny Gray.
We talk about Sonny Gray quite a bit on this. But you've got a top 3 rotation now with Crochet, Suarez, so 2 lefties, and then you've got Gray there as, kind of the righty to in between. Plus, you've got Early, and I believe there's another young Toll, right? Yep. Yeah. So,
who I really like, possibly for Rookie of the Year.
This is a team that has sort of I'd say a plethora of young talent and pretty good pitching depth. And the pitching depth was what held them back, especially the first half of last season. Here's my question to you. Is it too early to start looking at buying or finding ways to buy this team? Because if you look on the Green Book, their division odds, they are 3rd best odds to win the AL East currently. They are 3-1 to win the AL East. I'm not saying to make that bet. Is now the time, or are we waiting on this team?
Did you say Brian Bello too? Did you forget about him?
I forgot about Bayo. Yeah, Bayo's still there. Yeah.
Bayo's still there.
Who was the guy that they got in the Giants trade that they'll? Oh, they have Hicks in the bullpen.
No, they actually. I also didn't realize they gave up Hunter Dobbins and some other guys. They gave the guys who they gave up for the Gray deal, or guys who I was pretty high on. Dude, I'm probably going to take that 3-1.
3-1. Yeah,
I like that. Let me see. Is it? I actually like that a lot. So that's kind of. I like this Red Sox team. I also think that this is another one that I didn't want to. We haven't pulled the trigger on yet. But look, we talked about this. That team didn't fall apart when Bregman got hurt. That team fell apart when Roman Anthony got hurt. And Yep. They have all these guys that they wanted to get into the lineup, and now they're in that lineup. Actually, do we want Roman Anthony for MVP?
What's his price?
50-1.
Oh, I mean, here's me saying that we don't need to throw as many darts this year, and yet that's a.
But I think that's a good. But it fits every. We like that.
Price.
Look, the team has really good pitching. If that team does well, it's going on the back of the guy who we think is the stud on that team. If it's second year leap stuff, I like it.
I just want to look at something real quick. I have one quick thing I want to just double check. Okay, yeah. All right. You ready for this? So
yeah, tell me.
You know who Roman Anthony could, in terms of trajectory of why you could make the case to make this bet from a narrative standpoint?
Tell me.
Go look at the 2016 Chicago Cubs. Who was MVP on that team?
I don't know. Was it Cody Bellinger? Was it was Schwarber?
No, it was Chris Bryant. It was Chris Bryant.
Oh, that's right.
Chris Bryant
that's right.
Yeah, it was eating off of this MVP basically his entire career.
That's right, because they were all young that year.
This was Chris Bryant's second season. What does that team also have in likeness to this Red Sox team?
Oh, I didn't know. Also,
a bunch of their prospects.
Damn, Rizzo had a monster year that year. Rizzo had 32 home runs.
Rizzo was great that year too.
Rizzo was great. Rizzo's out of baseball.
2015. 2015 Chicago Cubs called up a lot of their young guys. That was the Schwarber when he got called up. That was when Bryant got called up.
Jorge
They
Soler was
immediately
on
were
that team,
good.
dude.
Addison Russell was on that team, who is now in jail. But so there's like, I think there's actually quite a bit of similarities to the 2015, 2016 Cubs trajectory to the 2024, 2025, I'm sorry, 25, 26 Red Sox trajectory. Also, 2016, who did they get in the offseason coming into that? It might have even been the year before, but John Lester. You get a bona fide starting pitcher, veteran to lead your rotation. They have Crochet that they added in. It's not crazy at all that Roman Anthony, who was the number one touted prospect, came in and absolutely raked until he got hurt, could be MVP. And there is anecdotal evidence right there with that Chris Bryant example.
I'm trying to see. What I don't get is Nick Kurtz at 9-1 for MVP. Like, when did I miss like that? Let me look. Yeah. So this is we've live determined this one. And where is it? I'm gonna try to get it down. You're not gonna like what the book is that did I get it? Are they gonna accept it? Nope. All right, we gotta
I think I know which one this is.
Yeah, it's this may be a fake price. So yeah, so look, if you have a Bet Rivers account, and
God.
If you have a Bet Rivers account, please contact CJ and I whenever you can so that we can do this because just to give you an idea of why we need to do this here, he's half the odds everywhere else. So this is not a bet for me at 17-1 on the green book or 25-1 on the blue.
Wasn't that
book.
the one that we had last year where Sanchez was also a Camby book?
Yeah.
I think it was.
If you have access, because I just tried to do it on Bally's and they were not having it. So wait, is producer? Yeah, producer Spencer is asking if he needs to get a Bet Rivers account. Yes, you do need to get a Bet Rivers account. So
we
yeah,
need to donate some money that he can like lose immediately on that account. Give him like $500 to go bet on this divisional weekend and bet like some stupid, alternate spread and then place this bet.
I mean, what is this on BetMGM? It's 30-1, 17-1 on Hard Rock. This is an outlier price on a good thing. So yeah. If you have these books and they are new, we would like to destroy that book for you by getting on there. So yeah, look, your takeaways from this baseball conversation should be: we're high on Brandon Woodruff. We are still high on the Red Sox. Nothing actually changed about them. My numbers have them at we're going to start doing team previews next week. Or I think so. I don't know, maybe. But we have them. My number had them I have them at 91 wins this year. The market has them at the line is 87.5. It does not really move. It didn't even move actually when they lost Bregman. So the difference to market, I just think that this team is great. Obviously, a ton of subtractions. I think the Wilson Contreras on that team is great. I think Sonny Gray on that team is great.
Yeah, we talked about him last episode.
Low key, by the way, we talked about starting pitching. Johan Oviedo is not bad either, and they got him from the Pirates. He's also a solid guy that is going to be able to have out of the bullpen.
By the way, I like that 3-1 price, but if Kyle Tucker does actually sign with the Blue Jays, you're immediately going to get a better number. So
wait.
I think if Kyle Tucker doesn't sign with the Blue Jays, I don't think that number is really changing. I don't think they're baking in like expecting Tucker to sign with the Jays because I think there's enough smoke that it could be the Mets, it could be the Dodgers. So I think that to me, that will be a bet, but I would wait until the Tucker news drops because if he does sign with Toronto, that immediately moves to 4-1 at least.
Yeah, probably plus 425. Is what I did. Yeah. So you want to say a quick thing? You want to say a quick thing on that? And then what did you have on your? All I want to do is talk about baseball. We're gonna do hockey right after this. So, yeah. Oh wait, actually, I have a note here. Do you want to say one thing about Tucker, and then I can say a quick rant on Nick Kurtz?
Yeah. Well, just the quick thing on Tucker is I think the I think right now the Mets are being used as leverage. I think that is pretty clear by some of the leaks on, well, they're going to offer him 3 years. Here's the AAV. Then immediately, like, it comes out just like a sieve within what, 6 or 7 hours that the Mets are upping their offer to 4 years. So it's a little bit odd to me as a Mets fan that Tucker is the guy they're kind of going all in on. So I don't know if this is just, Cohen and Stearns trying to like prove to the fans that they are in on a big free agent. I personally think Bellinger is a better fit as a Met, but I also think that it seems like both the Bellinger and the Yankees are doing whatever they can to get back in bed with each other. So I don't know. I don't know how serious the Mets are. I'm going to say right now that at 3:04 p.m. on January 15th, I think Tucker is a Blue Jay, but yeah, I mean, if he signs with the Mets, then he's going to they're going to have a couple of different opt outs, and then it's going to be similar to a Bregman type of deal, in my opinion, from last
I
year.
mean, I think that tied to that is that Bo is gone, and I think Bo's a Philly. That's picking up a lot of steam for me. So Tucker fills the gap also Tucker feels like a Blue Jay. I thought this when we did our free agent draft, just like the way that he plays. But another thing to note about him, 2 straight years of less than 140 games played.
Yeah.
And that shin injury where we all saw that he it was on Sunday Night Baseball, and he very clearly broke his leg on that play, and they acted as if it was a bruise. They didn't announce it was when he's still on the Astros. They didn't announce anything about it. He had that wrist issue last year, clearly took an injection and then kind of helped around. The Cubs got better off after that. Suzuki, this is, tied to the Bregman stuff with Suzuki. Like Suzuki's RBI stuff plummeted when Tucker was gone because you lost that in front of you, which I think is going to be made up with Bregman. But I mean, I think that is something that we can do. So all right, let's talk about football. So quick victory lap for everybody who listened. Woody Marks 18-1. Bink. Cash that one. Group effort on that too. I thought that was
green check mark. Yeah.
Also came down.
Shout out to Sean for Caleb Williams passing leader.
Oh yeah, Caleb Williams passing. Boop. Mm-hmm. I loved the fact that so they were on the 6 and he needed 8, and they got called for offsides. And Chubb had been running it. It was on that final drive. Chubb had been running it, and I texted Scott Reichel, and I'm like, I'm going to lose this bet, aren't I? And they moved them back 5 yards, and it was a 11-yard touchdown run for Woody Marks, which catched his anytime at plus 185, which is an absurd price. And it won us the weekend leader, which was awesome. This is a great way to win it.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I mean, shout out to Drake May for like making it at least interesting on the rushing yards leader. Yep. I think he ended up with like 66. So if Saquon doesn't have the 100-yard game Sunday, I think Drake May was like a yard, or he was right in the vicinity of being the leader heading into Monday. But yeah, I mean, that was the easiest, I think, out of all the week leaders we talked about on the show last week. That was the easiest one to just fire away on just because of the matchup. So I'm looking ahead to this weekend, and I want to pull up and see here, like, are there any weekly leaders similar to Mark's that you like as much as last week? I'm pulling up on the green book here,
they weirdly don't have everything up, but I can tell you guys I'm targeting. They have a very weird market on the blue book of most receiving.
Why is most tight end receiving?
That's exactly. It's so weird.
Why is that up? Okay. Anyways.
I don't know. Well, so I think Loveland has a monster game, so I think that's priced correctly. But what I have in pocket, I have Bo Nix 65-1 rushing yards leader, which I took on the green book. He had 40 plus against the Bills in the playoff game last year. This Bills team stinks against the run. He's a guy.
You can still get that price, by the way. That's still available right now.
It's still there. I like that. That one's in pocket. And then whatever. I mean, do you see receiving yards leader? Because I want CMC.
I'm looking at It's freaking the blue book has the same thing. It's like receiving yards leader for tight ends. Let me look here at Bet360. Well, the other green book. The green and yellow book, and see if they have one here.
I can't believe I got myself excited about this Roman Anthony book, and I knew it was. I was like, God damn it! I knew it was going to be on.
I'm not seeing. Okay, I think the other book doesn't have the weekly.
No one. I haven't seen receiving yards yet. I've seen passing yards leader.
This is also insane to me. Come on, guys. It's the fifth. It's the Thursday before the divisional set. These divisional games were literally like in stone by Sunday night. How are these markets not up? I guess they're just trying to like limit liability on them. But
yeah, maybe I'm looking right now also on a couple things like on milestone, like 1,000-yard playoffs.
Yeah, I don't
like any of these.
I don't like the milestone ones.
Milestone ones seem like suckers bets. The most passing yards divisional round. Oh, I like Drake May at 7-1. I think Drake May fucks this team up, to be totally honest.
Yeah, that was one of. I mean, the Patriots -3.
That was a bet for me. I think you and I probably read the same stuff. Shout out to Schumer Sports. But Drake May is the best passer in the league against single high looks this season. This is from their newsletter.
Mm-hmm. I was going to point out something from that newsletter today too, actually.
That's exactly what Houston puts out. Like I think they're going to sack him a bunch, and that's fine. But this is it's a scheme that he should be able to exploit pretty well. I also just everything that I know about gambling and looking at lines tells me that that Houston's going to be the public dog this weekend. Public 8 last weekend, by the way, like 8. So
yeah,
if you did anything remotely sharp, you got killed. So yeah, I was at Margaritaville in Hyannis, so I didn't get to do anything. But yeah, Drake May is best against two eye. He's good against two eye coverage, but he's the best against single high looks. And the Patriots pass catchers are really good against single high looks. Stephon Diggs is 93rd percentile of yards per route run. You might want to run back Stephon Diggs receiving yards leader when that comes up too. Texan coverage player strong at
Williams 75-1 as rushing leader is kind of interesting a little. Like
Caleb Williams is interesting. I mean, I don't want to blanket it with I don't want to blanket this market with like a whole bunch of stuff in there. I get it. Like I also, by the way, I like Chicago in that game. I mean, just to get down to brass tacks, I know that's like a little bit square side, but I originally was on the Rams. I was texting with Kramer about this, and then he kind of got me there.
Is Chicago the square side? I feel like the Rams are kind of like
no, the Rams are the sharp side. Rams are the sharp side.
I mean, I need to do a little bit more looking into that game. But my initial lean is Rams.
Mine was 2, and then you know how I got to the Bears? Do you want to know?
How?
I've watched this Rams. I've watched this exact Rams team play in cold weather multiple times.
What's the? I mean,
and by the way,
6:30 p.m. too is the game on Sunday.
Yeah, dude, Soldier Field's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be
I mean, here's the thing about all the games this weekend. You could make the case for me on every single side pretty easily. But for this one, I didn't want to do it, and then I ended up getting there on the weather angle. I also do agree with all the narrative that like Caleb looks good. Caleb looks like a dog. Caleb looks like Hurts did last year. I love this. I like this Rams team. Like I've liked them all season. They play with their food too much for me right now. And I'm going to be on the Bears. And I do like that bet. I do like that bet that you're mentioning. I like, there's other guys I'm
75-1 for rushing.
I'm going to take, I took Knicks at 65-1 just because.
That makes sense. By the way, courtesy of Jeff Passan, wee woo. Everybody waiting for the Kyle Tucker news.
Oh, we got it. Yeah.
Rockies to sign Willie Castro to a 2-year deal.
Oh, there you go. All right. I was excited. I thought we were breaking news on this one.
I've got so many MLB trade rumor notifications with the Rockies, and it's just hilarious to me because it's like the Pirates, the Rockies.
Don't hate this Rockies team.
No. All right, we're not spending. We're not spending.
No, we're not betting them.
Sorry,
we're not betting them on anything. We're not. Okay.
Let's give Hall of Fame bets some love here, and should we go into like a prop or something that we like for the weekend?
You can do the ad read, even though it's not really an ad read. It's just us saying it. You do it.
I would love to. I never get to do the ad reads. Make sure to support our friends at Hall of Fame Bets. We love these guys. They are part of the reason we make a lot of these great weekly leader bets. And you can use the code DADS. That is going to get you a 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month. HallOfFameBets.com. Their web interface is awesome. Their mobile app is amazing. We're going to actually go show that right now to just talk through a couple of potentially do some props or stuff that we like. I've got one that I want to dive into real quick here. So let me pull
I got one I want you to
screen.
Look up. See that.
Okay.
Also, Josh Allen off the injury report for Saturday's divisional game against the Broncos, in case you were wondering if he was missing the game amid the infirmary that is everybody else there.
God, I have to say, I got a chance. So this is just as a total, not to nuke the prop here, but so Sunday I was supposed to meet up with a buddy to go watch the Jags Bills game. He bailed. I texted another one of my friends. He bails. So it's like 12:15 Eastern. And I'm sitting here like, am I just going to like sit in my office to watch this game? And Michelle actually encourages me at this point to go to the bar by myself and to just sit and watch the Bills Jags game. Dad move. Go. If you get carte blanche from your wife to just go sit at a bar for 3 hours to watch a game by yourself, go do it. It's like going to the movies by yourself. So it's a wonderful experience. You just get to sit there and drink.
I did that a lot more before. Caitlin does that to me all the time. It's usually because she wants to get me out of the house. But I think that is awesome. That's a clutch dad move. It's
a good one. Okay, so I think I've got this up, Spencer. I don't know if you can pull up my screen here. So let's go into. I was on this last week and it did not come through, but I do like this one again for the Bills this week, which is Dalton Kincaid, longest reception, 20 plus yards. So if you look at his hit rate on this last 10, I mean, again, he's missed some games, so it's going to look a little bit weird here. And his actual average on that is 17.5, but still in general, like he's pretty money for this. 77% on the season, 67% in his last 10. Last 2 seasons, 55%. So you're already getting a plus price with it. And by the way, you can get this at plus 124 on Profit X if you play in a state that allows that. But
I've been smoking Profit X lately.
The other thing here too is that so initially I wanted to look at this game and go, what are my James Cook props? Is he going to get some depressed prices because everybody's going to be like, oh, this Denver defense is so good. Newsflash, he does not. His rushing total, it's like 76.5. So don't play that. Also, his weekly rushing leader, he is the favorite in that category.
Shout out to Sean Green, by the way, who has pointed out that the Bills they finally won a game last week when James Cook had under 75 yards rushing.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I don't think they've done that all season.
But that shout out to Sean Green.
So the other reason I like this one though is that if you look at some of like the stuff that Sumer Sports had sent, it actually is a pretty decent matchup for the Bills to run inside and do things that they like to do. At the same time, I also know that Sean Payton is going to come into this game and know that, and they're going to find ways to have to do kind of what the Jags did to the Bills last week and have them sort of work the middle of the field. Know that they are down. They lost Gabe Davis in that game last week too.
And Travers. They've lost multiple.
So you've got Keon Coleman, you've got Brandon Cooks, his corpse, and essentially Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. I mean, those are really like your only main targets for Allen. So I just think that you're going to see a decent number of targets for him. And it's also a team that was 24th against tight ends this season. And so Yeah, pretty good price there at almost like plus 125 for over longest reception 19.5. That's when I liked quite a bit coming into this week.
I like it. He will be on my list. I do like Denver. I'm not betting this side because I have, and I think I made you bet this. This is one of those I made you bet it bets from the early in the season. But you should have Denver. I think we have Denver 13-1 to win the AFC and 25 to win the Super Bowl. So I have a Denver stack. So I'm just going to probably leave this one alone.
Sure.
But I do like it. Hey, well, look, God, the chat is bumping. Yeah, Terry is in there. I like that a lot.
All right, Terry, welcome.
Yeah. Wait, do you want to so go to Drake May. Let's figure out how we want to bet Drake May this weekend. So we just talked about how I think also like the world is going to be afraid of this. Here's how I think this game's going to go. I think the world is going to be afraid to fade this Texans defense, which I'm going to remind everybody that the Texans had only scored 7 points going into the fourth quarter against the Steelers, and a lot of their offense came on the heels of 2 defensive touchdowns. What I think is important is that the Patriots can outpace them offensively. Nico Collins doesn't look like he's going to play, by the way. He did not practice again today. He's in concussion protocol, which is just changes game flow. Take a look at Drake May longest completion and see if that's how we want to get there.
Because I was actually funny enough. I was like, this pass yards that is low.
It's really low. I know, but but I don't think he gets there without it. And I think that the passing
35 at plus 105 right here on DraftKings.
So guys who have gone over this against this team, I mean, for those Aaron Rodgers, the corpse of Aaron Rodgers, whatever. Riley Leonard had a 66. Justin Herbert had a 60-yarder. They gave up 3 60-yarders to end the season in games that they needed, in games that mattered. Just to be clear. A 35 to Patrick Mahomes, 44 to Josh Allen, 39 to Cam Ward, 34 to Daniel Jones. I think that's the bet. We just talked about how like Drake May throws the best deep ball in the league. No one can convince me otherwise right now. And I think this feels like that's what I want, not the 220.
What is his? I'm just curious what the alts are on this. Can we get another alt? So 40 is, I don't love going to 40 and you're only getting to plus 176.
Which kind of tells you everything about the width of the market there.
Yep. So 35, you're still getting plus money. And I was just curious. I'm like, well, if I put in, like we just did this last week with the Jordan Love one, which they did not win the game. So therefore
he had, by the way, he had 8 going into the fourth quarter.
Yep. Still amazed that Matt LaFleur is the head coach there.
35 is plus 105.
Different topic. But if you use so in all games, he's at what? 61% for the season. If you like the Patriots in this game, he has been over this 73% of the time when they have won the game. So, and they're favorites at home. So
3 of the last 5, like 3 of the last 5. When you look at him against really good pass, when you go top percentile passing defenses, I just moved their slider to just do this a little more. And
3 of the last 5.
When he beats it's 3 of the last 5. So that's the bet for me. Is going to be Drake May over.
I like this.
Yeah, I like this. So cool. All right. What else do we have? Do you want to make any announcements about handigraphs and hockey? HG Edge for people who want to try it out.
HG Edge, so we do have odds now on. So just
shout out
there to our friends at Odds Logic, which you will see on the site whenever you go. But we have DraftKings, FanDuel, and I just actually got MGM that we're starting to pull. I haven't even announced this
a book I can't bet on. Yay!
Yeah. Well. Not odds for you, Adam, but odds for the general public that does not have to go use a beard on an account. Those are all available in Game Center and Edge Center. So if you really you want to be able to use it for more context, so you don't have to go look at you don't want to have to go do line shopping immediately to see if this makes sense. You'll at least see the line. Still would encourage you to go to Odds Logic and actually see what's the up-to-date line for a lot of the other props. But that context will be there on Game Center and Edge Center. Highly encourage you to check it out. Edge Center, it's also sort of your daily briefing for everything you need to know about the day's slate for NHL. Really excited to bring that to baseball, which we will have coming up very shortly. And if you are a Handygraphs subscriber, I literally, this is just because I promised Adam I will do this, but we will try to have available the list of players from the 2025 season on the pitchers and batters pages for you in the next couple of weeks. So if you want to do what we've been doing, kind of, putting together your list of guys that you want to fire some futures on, and you want to have an easy way to do some of the splits and filtering for 2025, those guys will be up on Handygraphs here probably in the next week and a half or so. Got to do a little bit of some work on that. But yeah, man, a lot of great stuff happening at Handygraphs, HG Edge. Go use that, and we'll have more coming.
Yeah, dude. Good. Dude, good. Feels good to get into baseball. We're going to have baseball. We're going to start doing preview episodes next week. So like scheduling wise, like we'll still have the show. We have to discuss internally how we're going to effectively roll these episodes out and stuff like that. Cause it might just be, you might not get a lot of live stuff from us, but you'll get a lot from us. We're going to try to bring on people. If you are a big fan of your team, tell us. We'd love for you to come on. We have some special guests that have confirmed that we're very excited about. I think Kyle Bennett's going to come on for the Phillies one too. He's a special guest. I didn't mean to downplay it, but we have other people that are also special guests. But yeah, we're going to start rolling these out. We're getting ahead of it. This is kind of our thing, guys. As you know, baseball's a big one. And I know that we also promised producer Spencer we would be done by 3:30. So I don't really have anything else to say. Download Hall of Fame bets. They have been awesome for college basketball. They also allow you to be able to look up any of the players, regardless of whether or not they are playing a game that night. You can look up their hit rates. I think it is one of the better features of that app. And yeah, I guess CJ, with all that being said, what would you say is the final word?
Rockies to win the NL West 200-1.
Not happening.